what I want to do is start with a story from World War II. This shows the path that the Japanese Naval Carrier Task Force took to Pearl Harbor in 1941. Now, in 1941, radar technology was still in its infancy. It was out there, but it didn't work very well. It worked sort of half the time at short distances. There's, of course, no GPS, no satellites back then. So to guard our military bases in Alaska and Hawaii and whatnot, what we had were scout planes. And we set up scout planes, and they'd fly around in a circumference until they ran out of fuel, and they came back to base. And that was how we protected. This red bubble here is roughly the circumference that our scout planes were flying in 1941. And the Japanese military more or less knew what that circumference was and what square around it. And it was Nate Silver, the great statistician, who started making this point, that what this shows is that everyone has a point of view, like a view of the world that you see out there. And that biases you to what's actually out there, because everyone lives in their own little red bubble out there, and they think that's the world around there, and it makes them feel safe about what's out there. But there's so much more out there that we don't see that's really important. And how this really affects investing. This chart shows what stocks did during your teens and 20s, your young, formidable years, depending on what year you were born. So this green line at the bottom is, I think, I can't see them very well here. I'm pretty sure the green line is 1950. If you were born in 1950, during your teens and 20s, the market was terrible. It basically went nowhere after inflation. And you probably grew up watching the stock market thinking this is a joke. In 20 years, it basically does nothing for you after inflation. If you were born in 1970, which is the top line, you increase your money tenfold during your teens and 20s. And you probably grew up thinking the stock market is incredible. That's fantastic. This is wealth-generating machine. And which one of those views is right? It's just basically their own little red bubble that they're in that's giving them a view of the world without realizing that there's so much else going on. And this really biases how people think about investing. Because young generations right now, people in their 20s and 30s, all they've known about the stock market for the last 15 years is crash. It's the dot-com crash and the 2008 crash. That's really what's stuck in their minds. To them, that's their world of investing. And right now, people in their 20s and 30s who invest in 401ks have a lower allocation to stocks than baby boomers do right now. And this is the reason why, I think. It's because whatever you grew up seeing, whatever that red bubble around you was, shapes how you think about investing. So think about what we're dealing with right now. This is the S&P 500 since 2009. It's pretty much gone straight up. It's tripled in value since 2009, straight up. And a lot of people talk about this. We've had this massive boom. Maybe it's even a stock bubble. It's gone so far, so fast. And that's one perspective. This is the S&P 500 since 2007. These are both, in both of these charts, these are net of inflation. Since 2007, the market has gone almost nowhere. It's barely kept up with inflation. So what are we in right now? Are we in this giant bubble on the left, or are we in one of the worst 7-year periods on history on the right? It's the same market. It's just you get a little bit different perspective, and it completely changes your view.